Well, hello, everybody. I'm super excited to have you here. Today, we have a very, very special guest, a Dr. Shelley Negelow. She is the co-founder of the Academy for Conscious Living, which has been helping and healing people for over 30 years. She's also the founder and CEO at Power of Women Seminars. She has obviously dedicated her life to helping people, and we're going to find out all about it. Hello, Shelley. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for having me. This is really a lovely opportunity to get to know you and to be with your audience today.
Well, I really appreciate it. So we talked just a little bit before this, and I'm super excited for you to share with everybody. But you talk about asking about how you decided to turn your life around. So what was happening that you decided you needed a switch?
Well, it actually started in my teens, that I had awareness that I came up in a very difficult family. There was physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And I decided in my mid-teens that I wasn't going to pass the pain on to my children when I had a family one day. And of course, I had no idea what that family was going to look like. My children are grown now and I have grandchildren. So in fact, I healed my life and went on to create a life that really I love, and have been supporting women for over 35 years now in my Power of Women seminar. So this came out of my healing my life.
Oh, absolutely. That is amazing. Well, it's amazing to me that you realized at 18, you said you started when you're in your teen years that you
It was
needed
15, 16 years old that I had that awareness. And I was pretty angry by that point because I've been beaten quite a bit. In fact, I was beaten for the last time at age 19 years old. And I just went on my way, put myself through college. I went to Temple University and started to create a life for myself.
And this was all in your household that all this stuff was going on?
All in my household.
Are your parents still living?
No, they passed away a long time ago. My father passed away when I was about 23 or 4 years old.
Okay. Now, we did talk about something kind of startling, and I don't want to cause any triggers or anything. Are you open to telling us a little more about what happened in your house that really caused the damage?
Well, seriously, my mother used to beat us severely. She was a very rageful woman, but she was rageful for various reasons. I realized later on in my life that she actually had been sexually abused herself in her household. And also my father was, he was an ill man. I think it really affected him being in World War II. And he wound up being my sexual abuser. And that's what happened. And I saw bits and pieces of it over time and just kept healing my life. Finally, it flooded out of me. And I just determined to keep going and doing what I had to heal, because my commitment was just to supporting the women and having a life that they love. And I knew that if I wasn't clear with myself, how was I going to support the others? So I made a commitment to healing my life. My husband and I have a remarkable relationship. We have a true partnership, and we actually teach true partnerships also. We teach people how to have a partnership in life because it's gotten lost so much in our society now.
Oh, it sure has. And how long have you been married? Because that's kudos to you.
I got married when I was minus 10 or 20 years old. It's been almost 50, it's 52 years on Thanksgiving Day.
Congratulations. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah,
And
that's what
I told
said.
you I'm minus 20 years.
Yeah, so you got married when you were 2. That's very cool. I love it. I know. I just absolutely love that. And like I said, I'm just in awe that you made that awareness, that conscious awareness at that such a young age, because so many people just don't have it. They don't even know that what was happening. I mean, I talked in a couple episodes about when my big aha moment was, and it was when I was getting ready to have a child. And it was the same kind of thing. It was what, I know what was done to me was not right, but I know also I don't want to perpetuate the cycle. I know I want to stop the cycle.
Exactly.
And it's not just a matter of I'm not going to do what my parents did to me. That's just the beginning of it. It's also how am I going to heal what was done to me? Because I realized at 26 years old, I didn't know what unconditional love felt like. And I freaked out, not sure I was going to be able to give it because I didn't even know what it felt like. So, I'm having a baby and I'm like, oh, how am I going to love this child? I don't even know what that means, what it looks like. And so
Yeah.
obviously I was very capable of unconditional love. But with that and my bad habits and everything also came a complete lack of boundaries and discipline and all those things, because I just reverted back to I'm not going to do to my children what my parents did to me. So I love that you had that awareness so much earlier. Did you ever say to yourself, good golly, I wish they had the internet when I was healing?
No. No, it wasn't an awareness at all. But, I think I mentioned to you that when people got results with the work that my husband and I both do, they would tell other people, and we literally went to 20 cities over the years, and we traveled almost nonstop. We were on the road almost 3/4 of the time. We stopped traveling about a little less than 15 years ago. But
Wow.
we were on the road 3/4 of the time. It was for many, many, many years. And after a while, I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Can't imagine.
it
So,
was physically stressful.
oh yeah. And
Yeah,
emotionally stressful. I mean, helping people heal is so exciting to watch the transformation and to see the aha moments and to see the joy when they light up and realize you've made a difference, but it's demanding on you as well. I mean,
well, the thing that I found is that as I healed my life, I was no longer taking on anybody else's stuff. I wasn't triggered by anybody else. I had really completed within myself that trauma from the past, which makes me an open vessel to support others to heal, really heal.
oh, absolutely. People always ask me, I just wrote a book last year called Surviving Alcoholic Parents. And then
Yes,
I wrote another one for educators so that they can reach out to these kids that are just just struggling. And people,
absolutely.
yeah, and people are like, why didn't you write it 30 years ago? I said, because I didn't want it to be my therapy. I didn't want it to be my story. I just wanted it to be me sprinkled in so they know why I'm available to help, but understand that it wasn't all about me. And I wasn't ready. I was nowhere near ready. And I finally got to a point and it's like, okay, I'm good. I don't get triggered. I can help people now and openly and it's not that my therapy anymore, which is, I think, important for especially new coaches and stuff to realize that.
Really, absolutely. Very, very important.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the work that you and your husband do, because it's absolutely amazing.
Well, it kind of came out of, again, my healing. Women actually came to me in the early days and asked me what in the world had changed. We were involved in other personal development programs back then. And I knew instinctively that how I was holding on to what I was holding on to was held in the body, held physically, mentally, and emotionally. I just knew that energetically. And so as I started to heal my life, and the women started to ask me, what in the world has changed about you? I actually started to develop my program, which is Power of Woman, that I've been now teaching for 35 years. And it literally has come out of my experience of how to clear the body physically, mentally, and emotionally. I don't really address the spiritual, although I would consider the program in a spiritual way, but that's intact for people generally. And so handling the physical, mental, and emotional handles the whole system of the person. And that what happens is the neurology changes as well. So you're having a whole complete experience of transformation with that human being. And the women would then have those changes and start to ask for more. So my husband and I started to say, all right, well, how do we get to a true partnership in life? And so we developed our true partnerships training. And my husband, of course, is a healer and he's a trance channel. So I also, by the way, I didn't mention this to you earlier, do very deep inner child work that's energetic in nature that I developed, again, because I had to heal my life.
And I think people underestimate the power of energy, or they just don't even consider it, when you say
Well, it
body.
sounds like it's woo-woo, but it's actually getting you very clear in your body so you can be effective in your life in the world.
It is. And like we talked about, just awareness, you're going to feel everything in your body. You're going to feel it in a certain part, in a certain spot, and just how
Absolutely.
you're drawn to different things. And you need that energy to be positive energy. You need to get out the negative energy and fill it with the positive, and just to start seeing the world differently through a different lens, really.
Yes. And the energy actually is more dense, the stuff we hold on to, than our natural flow of our energy. So when you're clearing that, let's say, deeply held energy from the past, when you release that, your natural flow of who you are is available to you easily without pushing yourself. And
Absolutely.
then
So
learning
tell
how
us
to
a little
use
bit
it in the
about like
world.
some of, oh, I'm sorry. So tell
Go
us a
ahead.
little bit about like some of the modalities that you use in some of your healing or helping people.
What do you mean by modalities?
Like different tactics. Like, do you do rapid eye movement? Do you do energy healing? I know, do you have tuning forks? I mean, there's all kinds of different things you can do.
None of the above.
Okay. I don't know. I've
I
come across
developed
so many energy.
exercises that are inner driven. So they're, you would say, meditative in nature.
Okay.
That actually focus on how to become aware of the body experience, clear the emotion, clear the physical reaction, and also clear the mental reaction. So that as you open that actually opens your body experience to being able to focus more easily in your life, to produce and really manifest the results that you want to have. So it's a package of step by step by step, learning how to connect with that innate power that we already have, that most of us are not really in touch with. And it works. I mean, I've trained thousands of people over the years. And I told you that I've never marketed my work. It's all been word of mouth.
That's, and in this day and age, that's so important, because I think we were talking before about just connection. I have people DM me and they're like, oh, I have this great system. And I'm like, I know hundreds of people that I talk to on a regular basis that can connect me with a human, not a name and a DM, like just put me through to a human that I could talk to
Human
actually.
being. I said the same thing this morning to my husband. We've missed the connection so deeply in our society, especially with our younger children in this day and age. And we have work to do. And the way to do it, I feel, is by each of us individually being responsible for our own healing and discovering how to manifest in the world so that we have a life that works for us. Doesn't have to be running around the country like I've done. It's not for everybody, but it certainly worked for me.
Well,
And everybody has their own unique gifts.
absolutely. And it seems like you found yours, because you've had, like you said, you've helped thousands. I was just kind of looking over some of your stuff before we got on this, just to kind of get a feeling and everything. And I was like, I like this lady. I like her.
Thank you. I love you. And we just met.
I know. That's crazy. So tell me, because I do have a couple special guests that come on and they ask me questions, and some people that work with me on a regular basis. You have this energy, and so this trauma gets caught inside of you. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about how you feel you need to release that energy, and the part about forgetting things, because a lot of people say to me they don't remember their childhood trauma. So what am I supposed to release?
Oh, that's a great question. You don't have to remember it. I've said that to many of my women over the years. You don't have to remember your childhood. All you have to do is to be in touch with how you're holding on to whatever your reaction is right now. Because in every moment, it is right now energy, right now experience. And there is a physical feeling. We may have emotions associated with the physical feeling very often, especially we as women, and also our thoughts that are associated. Now, we normally focus on our thoughts because we are been trained, especially since Freud, that our thoughts are what matters. if we change our thoughts and everything's going to be all right. Well, if it were that simple, everybody would be doing it. So it has to be cleared in the physicalness of the body, which then corresponds with the emotion and the mental. It's really all one package of being human. But most of us look at it as separate things, but it's not. But when you focus on the physical first, it actually clears the whole system quite easily, but it's a practice thing over time. And you have to learn how to use that expanded awareness to be in the world to really produce the results that you want.
Oh yeah. And I love that you said that you don't have to remember, because
No.
by your reactions and your subconscious quick thinking and your gut instincts, all of that something happened and it's been reprogrammed. Your little mind has been twisted to think differently about the world. And like you said, going back and looking at that inner child. But one lady said to me, well, I know I was sexually abused for a long time, but I don't remember it. And, if I go to therapy, they're going to want me to relive it. And I'm like, you never, ever, ever have to relive the terrible things that happened to you.
No, you don't have to. There are ways of releasing it without having to go through that, but there's still needing to be released that deeply held either rage or sadness or however we have it emotionally, so that you're not holding on to whatever those emotions are, because it's really, really easy to recreate those patterns in other situations, most unconsciously.
All right.
And not realizing we're reacting actually to something that happened many years ago, and we're bringing it forward into present time.
Absolutely. So when you're dealing with helping people, change their energy and release and get all this, you're really helping them just change that subconscious mind, right? Is that?
And the physical imprint in the body, because the body, right. When we are so used to looking at the thinking first, but when you look at the human being, we're physical bodies first, then we have thinking, which is what we developed in order to survive on the planet.
Right.
And the emotional response corresponding with whatever our experiences are. So
Yes.
it all came together as, so that we could survive, actually.
Oh yeah. I mean, the brain is just an amazing product. It's an amazing thing, but it is there ultimately to help you survive. And that's what you're going to do, especially in those first 7 years where you're kind of just in limbo, not really making decisions, not doing anything. You're just taking what's being thrown at you and surviving. That's literally all you're doing.
And you're right about that. 7, 8 years is by the time we are complete with those 7 or 8 years, we have pretty much created the foundation for all of our patterns.
Absolutely.
And they get more sophisticated in life as we go on.
So you said you deal with a lot with the inner child healing, because that is undoing those patterns and you go all the way back.
Well, in order to heal, and this is again a great interaction about this, in order to truly heal those deeply held experiences, you actually have to release it as the child experience. You can't go back and think about it and try to figure it out as an adult. That will only keep it going. And most of us try to talk it out or figure it out or go to counseling or psychology. And I've had lots and lots and lots of women who have done all of that, and it didn't work for them, simply because it doesn't work. You actually have to release the energetic imprint in the body as the child. It's already there. So rather than, people walking around being very childish, and you can see that in people, you become childlike. That's a very, very different feeling. You can experience the joy of the child without the child, as I call it, running the show.
Yeah, we have a lot of adults
anymore.
Yeah, we have a lot of adults out there having 5-year-old temper tantrums or reacting from fear and everything. And when you actually start to become aware, you're like, I literally still have those child questions. Like, I'll be like, really, Tammy, really? That's the 5-year-old you. Just stop, And
5-year-old, and you can stop that. But the thing is then the child needs some support, something that needs to be released in the energy. And so, that's a way of being able to notice or to be aware of that there's something to be cleared.
Absolutely. So just for the people that are on here that are going, oh, okay, well, I can do that. I can get in touch with my inner child and release some of that stuff by acting as the child. What would be like a good starting point? Like, what would you suggest to people that are just listening that may not come work with you or me or anybody? They just want to try to start making things a little better.
The first thing I would tell people to do is learn how to breathe again. Most of us walk around on the planet not breathing or holding our breath or very, very shallow breath up here. So starting to learn how to breathe is most important, because that's our main tool for opening up our body awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to do a specific breath like yoga breath or certain kind of meditative breath. You can do all that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But just simply breathe and consciously use your breath to open up the feeling, the connection in the body, because it's already there. It's already hardwired. It's a matter of becoming again aware, and the breath will help that happen. Now, you were mentioning, Tammy, I believe earlier, we can use sound. If you like to make sounds, you can use sounds, people call it toning, to open up the body. That's a second most powerful way of opening the body experience. And of course, going to a healer who can really does have the sensitivity for the energy of the body, someone that's really has done a lot of work with people, that would be a good, effective way of beginning to move forward in your life.
So
Not
give
just
somebody
massage,
an
but
example.
something deeper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give somebody an example of how you would use sound. That's something you could do at home.
Well, you've done toning, have you?
Not very, no.
No. Well, you can work with the 7 chakras, the 7 key chakras, which is your base, your sexual creative, which is right below the navel, your solar plexus, which is right above the navel, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and in your crown. And what I do is I have a technique that I actually use in my seminar, that there is a specific sound with each one. And look, you can make the tones up. You
Right.
don't have to do it a specific way as I do it. And there's a specific color with each one. But for me, I would suggest simply putting your hand on that area of your body and make a sound. And actually do it on purpose to clear the feeling in the body of whatever you're feeling at the time, tightness, some emotion, and like that. And keep working with it, and you'll get more adept at it very, very quickly, actually. And again, you don't have to do it like I do it, which is very specific with the tones and the colors and so on, and sounds. Not necessary.
Right.
Every person can do it in their own way and still be very effective.
That's good, and it's quick and it's easy. It's kind of like the deep breath and the breathing, because I do work with a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that have like ADHD, and they're like, Tammy, I can't meditate. And I'm like, you don't have to sit down with your knees crossed and your fingers in the air. That's not what meditation is all about. That's one person's meditation, but just calming your nervous system can be done in so many different ways.
So many different ways. And even just sitting out in nature and just breathing. Simple, simple, simple. Enjoy the sun. Breathe. Close your eyes for a little bit. Just kind of breathe and feel the feeling in your body for a while.
Yep.
Having a hard time breathing? All right. So put your hand there, can make a tone. And just, again, very, very simple things. And learning how to center yourself in your body, breathing your energy down to your root chakra, to your base chakra, which is the tip of the tailbone, middle of the pubic bone area of your body. And just allowing your body to be open. Most of us don't know what that even means. So it takes some practice, but it doesn't take very long practice.
even just the grounding, even just pulling and visualizing the positive energy coming in. And like you said, right through your root, being aware, feet on the ground, and then out through the ground, just getting yourself in that just awareness state. And it doesn't have to be a 15-minute process. It
Doesn't
can,
have to be.
yeah.
And the thing of it is that we are already that energy. It's just a matter of switching it on so that we are aware of it and use it effectively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to take some of your classes and things like that, and just
I
kind of
want you to come, honey.
I know I'm gonna.
You're part of our family now.
I love it. I love that I love that you said that, the positive energy thing, and it just is proof positive about the connections we're missing now, because people need to be in tune with those energies and their gut instincts and the things that have just been so stifled because of society and because of our families or whatever else it is, really.
Absolutely.
It's nuts. So
it is.
What is the best way for people to reach out and talk to you, or just to get hold of your information? Obviously the links will be in there, but the quickest way for them to reach you.
Two really fast ways would be to just email me at shelleynegelow@gmail.com. And that Shelley is with an EY. And I think you'll have that posted, NEGELOW@gmail.com. That's one way. The other way is my phone number. Just call me directly. It's a 678-828-9145. 678-828-9145, and call me. I like to hear from people. I like to speak with people, find out who you are, find out what it is you need, so I can support you effectively in your life.
I absolutely love that. And you're going to support them with not just years and years of experience. You have a doctor's degree. You're a doctor, you have got your doctorate. You did all of that. So it's not just your personal experience as well. It's also coupled with 30 years of research and knowledge and
it's
science-backed.
Phenomenal road. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Absolutely. You're going to help so many people. You've already helped thousands and thousands, and you're just continuing at 29 years old. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So going back, because we did mention that a lot of the listeners are just kind of in that awareness stage, or just kind of accepting, like, okay, I had a rough childhood. It kind of conditioned me to be the way I am, maybe not some positive habits or things, and they're not sure where to go. I want your Dr. Negelow, I want your words of wisdom for those out there listening.
First of all, I will tell everyone that it is your birthright to live a life that you love. It is truly your birthright. It's a matter of claiming it and not accepting that you've had challenging circumstances, if you've had them, or you have had some specific issues that have come up in your life that have been challenging more recently. That makes no difference. You're not your circumstances. You truly are magnificent, and you're unique on this planet. So treating yourself with love, with compassion, with taking some steps, one foot in front of the other, practice a little at a time, just breathing, just opening your body up, opening your awareness up. Contact me if you want to have more information. We certainly can do that, but you can begin to take those steps on your own, because ultimately you are going to go through these changes yourself. Now, you don't have to do it by yourself, but you will be doing them yourself, and it's a matter of choice. And you can make the choice, and you do have the strength to accomplish it. I promise you, because if I can do it, so can you.
Absolutely. Amen. Very well said. I always say that your circumstances are not your destiny, ... unless you let them be. And no, we all have it in us.
Absolutely.
So our message to you, I believe we agree on the same message, is you are absolutely amazing. You have everything you need right here inside of you. You always have. It's just a matter of tapping into it, believing that you are worthy. And we're telling you, we're committing to telling you that you are more than worthy.
Absolutely.
Right. Well,
You
thank you
know,
so much for coming on. And I'm going to have you back again if you don't mind, because I enjoyed
oh,
this
I'd love to.
conversation. Love
Oh,
it.
Tammy, thank you so much for you and for opening up the space for us to connect like this, and just enjoyed thoroughly. Thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome. And for all of you out there listening, I hope you tune in to another episode. And until then, that was Dr. Shelley Negelow, and we really enjoyed having you on. And you have a happy day. And remember, like she said, you are more than enough. Thank you.